Have you ever noticed how some people can convince you to do things you had zero intention of doing? Like they say, let's just watch one episode. And suddenly it's 4 a.m. You've lived through 3 fictional wars, and you're emotionally attached to characters who don't even exist. Meanwhile, when you try persuading someone, hey, can you help me for 2 minutes? They look at you like you just asked for a kidney. Why does persuasion feel like a natural talent for some people and a tragic struggle for the rest of us? Here's the twist. Persuasion isn't magic. It's psychology. And once you understand it, game over. Let's be honest for a second. You've definitely had moments where you try explaining something so clearly you genuinely believe you could win a teaching award, and the other person still just stares at you like you're speaking ancient Greek. Painful, right? Or maybe you've tried convincing someone to do something tiny. Come on, try this app. Start this habit with me. Let's fix our sleep schedule. And they respond with the emotional energy of someone being asked to relocate to Mars. Meanwhile, other people somehow persuade you without even trying. Your friend says, "Bro, this restaurant is insane." And suddenly you're already on the way. Someone casually says, "You should totally start this course," and your brain goes, "Yes, wise one, guide me." Why? Why are their suggestions magical and yours ignored? And then there's the frustration of knowing persuasion matters in literally every part of life. You need it in friendships. You need it with family. You really need it at work. Even pets require persuasion. You ever tried negotiating with a cat? Good luck. And it's not that you're bad at communicating. You're just tired of feeling unheard. Tired of good ideas getting stuck in your head. Tired of watching people do the exact opposite of the thing you know would help them. If you've ever felt misunderstood, overlooked, or like life would be so much smoother if people just listened for once, congratulations. You're exactly who this video is made for. Because the problem isn't you. It's the strategy you've been using, and we're about to fix that. All right, let's talk about the part everyone gets hilariously wrong. How they try to persuade. Most people treat persuasion like they're trying to win a shouting contest. They think, if I say it louder, or say it 20 more times, or say it with that, "I'm right and you're wrong" energy, they'll finally agree. Spoiler, no, they won't. Then there's the logic overload person. You ask them a simple question, "Why should I try this method?" And suddenly they're hosting a full academic conference. They're quoting articles, studies, their cousin's WhatsApp forwards, something they heard on a podcast, and one random fact they learned in 2012. Meanwhile, the person they're trying to convince is mentally planning dinner. Another mistake? People try to persuade using their reasons instead of the other person's reasons. It's like trying to convince someone to watch your favorite show by explaining the plot, when they only care about whether it's funny and short. Wrong pitch for the wrong audience. And oh boy, the guilt trippers. "You should do this, it's good for you." Yes, revolutionary. No one has ever heard that before. Or, "You never listen." Amazing motivational technique. Truly inspiring. Nothing persuades a human faster than being emotionally roasted. But the biggest mistake, and this is where almost everyone fails, is assuming persuasion means convincing someone. So people push, and pressure, and insist, and argue. And the more they push, the more the other person's brain is like, "Nope, absolutely not. Goodbye." Because here's what people don't realize. Humans don't resist the idea. They resist feeling controlled. You could be offering the best advice in the world, but if you deliver it like a command, their inner rebel is waking up, stretching, and preparing for battle. So most persuasion fails not because the idea is bad, but because the approach is. Here's the part most people never realize. When you want to persuade someone, your real goal isn't to change their mind. What you actually want is connection. You want cooperation, harmony, and smoother interactions. You want the people around you to understand you, respect your perspective, and maybe, just maybe, take your ideas seriously for once. Persuasion isn't about control. It's about reducing friction. It's about feeling confident in conversations instead of anxious. It's about knowing you can handle disagreements without turning into a stressed-out mess. Deep down, persuasion is linked to something emotional. The desire to feel heard. The desire to influence your own life. The desire to not be ignored or dismissed. You don't want power. You want impact. And the psychology behind persuasion gives you exactly that, without manipulation or force. Now let's dive into the heart of persuasion, the one principle that silently controls almost every human decision. People don't resist you. They resist losing control. Asterisk asterisk. That's it. That's the entire psychological engine behind persuasion. Humans are wired for autonomy. We want to feel like the captain of our own ship, even if the ship is sometimes sailing straight into chaos. When someone feels pushed, pressured, corrected, or cornered, they push back. Even if your suggestion is objectively brilliant. Even if it would help them. Even if it's exactly what they want deep down. It's not rational. It's psychological. But here's the good news. Once you understand this, you unlock persuasion without force. Let's break this down into the insight that actually changes everything. Validation reduces resistance. When people feel seen, they soften. When they feel judged, they armor up. If you say, "You're doing it wrong," their brain activates defense mode. But if you say, "I get why that approach makes sense," you've opened the door. Validation doesn't mean agreeing. It means acknowledging. It signals, "You're not stupid. You're not wrong. You're not being attacked." Once the ego relaxes, their logic opens up. Choice creates cooperation. Psychology consistently shows that people are more likely to follow a path they participated in choosing. Give orders, and they resist. Offer choices, and they engage. Instead of, "You need to try this method." Try, "Want the quick version or the simple version?" Instead of, "Stop procrastinating." Try, "Want to start for 5 minutes or 2 minutes?" The outcome is the same, but the feeling is different. They feel in control, even when you're guiding the direction. People decide emotionally, then justify logically. Humans love to believe we're logical creatures. We're not. We're emotional creatures who use logic as a lawyer to defend the decision we already felt. So when persuading, don't start with data. Don't start with arguments. Start with feelings. Start with alignment. Start with making them think, "Yes, this fits me." Then sprinkle in logic at the end like seasoning, not the entire meal. The brain loves stories. Facts appeal to logic. Stories appeal to imagination. When someone imagines themselves succeeding with your idea, they're halfway convinced already. Want someone to try a productivity trick? Tell them a story about someone like them who tried it and thrived. Want someone to start a habit? Paint the picture of how their daily life becomes easier. Persuasion isn't about proving. It's about letting them see it for themselves. Tiny steps bypass fear. People don't resist tasks. They resist discomfort, effort, and risk. So shrink your requests. Instead of, "You should read 30 minutes a day," try, "Read 1 page." If you want more, go for it. The brain views small commitment as safe. Once they take the first step, momentum carries them forward. This is the foot in the door principle, and it's ridiculously effective. Social proof calms ego. Nobody wants to be the outlier. We look to others to confirm what's normal, safe, and smart. That's why this helped so many people like you. Or, everyone on the team uses this method now. Works better than a solo opinion. People trust what feels validated by the tribe. People follow what they believe they decided. This is the holy grail. If you can guide someone toward an idea while making them feel like it was their idea, you've won. Ask questions. Let their thought process. Help them connect dots. Not by saying, "You should do this," but by asking, "What outcome do you want? What would make this easier for you? What's the smallest step you'd be willing to try?" They'll talk themselves into your conclusion, and they'll feel great doing it. The summary of all this: persuasion isn't about being convincing. It's about creating alignment. It's about giving people authority over their own decisions while gently guiding the path. It's subtle. It's smooth. It's how great leaders, great communicators, and honestly, great friends operate. Once you get this mindset shift, persuasion stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a dance. A dance where you're leading softly, without stepping on anyone's toes. Let's imagine a scene that might hit a little too close to home. You're trying to convince your roommate, Alex, to stop leaving dishes in the sink. A noble mission. A mission many have failed. Version 1. The usual disaster. You. Alex, can you please stop leaving dishes everywhere? Alex, I'll do it later. You always say that. Alex, why are you overreacting? You, because it's gross. Alex, okay, then you wash them since you're the clean one. Congratulations. You've unlocked a new achievement, starting World War III over a fork. Version 2. Psychology mode activated. You. Alex, I totally get why washing dishes feels annoying. Same for me. Alex, internally. Okay, They're being reasonable today. You. Quick question though. Do you prefer the kitchen looking clean or chaotic? Alex, clean, obviously. You, same. And I noticed something weird. When dishes pile up, they get 10x nastier. But if we just rinse them immediately, it takes like 10 seconds. Alex, yeah, true. You. You want to try the 10-second rinse rule for just today? If it sucks, we drop it. Alex, all right, fine. Boom. Persuasion. Let's break down what happened. You validated them. I get why dishes are annoying. You aligned with their value, cleaned chaos. You used a simple insight, 10 seconds. You made the commitment tiny, just today. You gave them agency. You want to try? You removed pressure. If it sucks, we drop it. Alex feels in control. You feel sane. The sink finally stops looking like a crime scene. That's persuasion psychology in action. All right, here's your pocket-sized persuasion toolkit. Simple, fast, and immediately usable. Validate before you suggest. Start with, I get why. That makes sense. I see what you mean. This disarms resistance. Add because. Even a simple reason increases compliance. Humans love meaning, even if the meaning is minimal. Give choices, not commands. Option A or B. Want the quick version or detailed version? People cooperate when they feel autonomous. Speak to their values. Before persuading, ask, what does this person care about most? Then frame your idea around that. Shrink the first step. Make the initial action tiny. Let's try it for a day. Give me 2 minutes. Micro-commitments create momentum. Use light social proof. It helped a lot of people who felt the same way. People hate being the lone experimenter. Master these 6 moves, and you'll persuade naturally, without pushing, forcing, or turning into a walking self-help book. Here's a technique you'll never forget. The spotlight trick. Imagine persuasion like holding a flashlight in a dark room. Most people try to shove someone toward the door. Wrong. Your job is simply to shine the light in a direction that makes the person want to walk there. Next time you're trying to persuade someone, ask yourself, how can I shine the spotlight on what benefits them? Not what you want, not what sounds smart, but what their brain finds appealing. When someone sees their own values highlighted, ease, comfort, time, respect, they move toward the idea naturally. Visualize yourself holding that spotlight. Don't push. Don't pull. Just reveal the path in a way that makes them say, oh, that actually looks good. That's persuasion without pressure. Influence without force. And trust me, you'll remember this every time you're in a conversation. So that's persuasion, not manipulation, not pressure, not some secret talent only charismatic people get at birth. It's psychology, simple, human, emotional psychology that works because it aligns with how the brain naturally makes decisions. Once you use these principles, conversations get easier. Conflicts shrink. People actually listen. And you feel more confident sharing your ideas because you know how to communicate them. If any part of this video gave you that little, oh, that makes sense moment, then you're already on your way. These are real skills, and they only get stronger the more you practice them. You don't have to subscribe, but if you want more videos that decode your brain, improve your communication, and make life feel a little less chaotic, well, you know where the button is. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Go out there, steer the car, don't grab the wheel, and watch how people respond to you differently.